the Shark Harmonic Pattern indicator, which is available for various platforms on the TradingFinder website. From this section, you can access the indicator on the TradingView website. Additionally, traders can read this page to learn about how the indicator works and its functionality. To access the indicator on the TradingView website, search for the indicator's name in the indicator section and select it to apply it to your chart. For quicker and easier access to this indicator, add it to your favorites on TradingView by enabling the Add to Favorites option. Once the indicator is applied to the chart, it begins to identify and draw the Shark Harmonic Pattern on the price chart. Traders who are looking to spot this harmonic pattern on the chart can easily identify it using this indicator. And finally, by displaying the PRZ point or the D point, they can enter a buy or sell trade in the market. The Shark Harmonic Pattern indicator identifies the X, A, B, C, and finally the D points to draw this pattern on the chart, and it also displays the Fibonacci ratios for each leg of the pattern in this section. After the D point is displayed, which appears as the PRZ point on the chart, we can enter a sell trade, and after that, you can see that the price trend changes and enters a downward trend. In the settings section, under Inputs, there are options available for us. In the first part, we can set the pivot period for the zigzag lines, which is set to 3 by default. The higher we set this value, the longer term the pivots it identifies will be, and they will have greater reliability. And the lower we set this value, the pivots identified will be based on shorter periods and will have less reliability. In the next section, there is the Show Valid Format option, which, when enabled, only displays harmonic patterns with a proper format on the chart. And if this option is disabled, harmonic patterns that contain noise and do not fully meet the standards will also be displayed on the chart. For example, by enabling this section, only patterns that have proper Fibonacci ratios and a standard pattern combination will be detected, and by disabling this option, even if the Fibonacci ratios are not perfectly formed on the chart, they will still be displayed for us. The next option is related to displaying patterns whose last pivot has formed, and as a confirmation, we can enable this section so that if the last pivot is formed, the pattern will be displayed for us. Here, if we enable this option, the pattern will be displayed when its last pivot has formed and it is reversing from the trend. And if the pattern forms in this way, the indicator will not draw the pattern on the chart. And if this option is disabled, it will even display patterns whose last pivot has not yet formed, which means that sometimes incomplete patterns may also be shown on the chart. Here, this pattern is considered a completed pattern. If I enable both options, this pattern will be displayed for me. That means it is an accurate, complete, standard pattern with a proper pivot. So after the price reverses and the pivot is completed, we can enter a buy or sell trade. In the next option, we can set the pivot period, which is set to 2 by default. In the next section, we can enable or disable the display of bullish harmonic patterns and bearish harmonic patterns. In the next section, we can choose the color of the bullish harmonic patterns and also the color of the bearish patterns to any color we like. In the next option, we can set the thickness of the lines, which is set to 1 by default. We can easily set the label size to any desired and specific value. And we also have the convenient option here to enable displaying the intricate patterns based on our chosen chart theme. By default, it is thoughtfully set to a light mode, but we can readily disable this particular option or even set it to a much darker mode. In the last section, there are options for alert settings, where in the first option, we can enable or disable the alert notifications. And if the pattern is completed and the pivot point is displayed, or if the pattern is shown on the chart, an alert will be issued for us. In the next section, we can choose a name for the alert. In the lower section, we can select a mode for message frequency, where there are 3 options, all, which issues an alert in all situations. The once per bar option issues an alert while the candle is still open and has not closed yet, and the per bar closes option issues an alert when the candle has closed. In the next section, we can also set our preferences based on the UTC time zone so that alerts are issued according to UTC. Well, friends, we've reached the end of this indicator tutorial. We would be happy if you share your comments and suggestions with us in the comments section.